Yeah, so I think we kind of touched on it a bit earlier, like when we were talking about, like the nature of our job, like what we were doing in the band and the situation, being on stage in front of thousands of people. I think it's a really normal place to experience anxiety. Like you're gonna go and perform in front of, a lot of different people that you don't know who they are, and it's not a natural thing to do, in terms of everyday life. You don't just talk to thousands of people, so it was something that I had to, learn to adjust. Anxiety for me, I've learned is a feeling that now has a word, and I feel like for generations human beings have felt it and not really even been able to put the finger on what it is, but we overcome it, and certain things in life can change your perspective on them things. And I think for me, like since I've had my daughter and since she was born, like the main thing in my mind is like trying to be a good example to her, like in terms of I can do things and I can achieve things and I can overcome things and you can do this too, and to let things like a feeling stop you from doing that after having a child feels like a really small thing. Like I feel like I had to step up, as a man, or just as a person, and be this example to her that doesn't succumb to these feelings. That's why I'm even doing this interview. Like I used to get a lot of anxiety around like having a conversation like this, just in this kind of environment, and I want her to be able to look at me and be like, yo, my dad's doing this, he's the man, he's cool, he's a cool guy, yeah. So that's helped me a lot for sure. And then got to a certain point, I think, where it just became too much. Like it just was weighing on me, that feeling of like anticipation and then getting the adrenaline and then the after feeling of that, as a young kid I loved it. Like I loved being on stage and I loved performing. It was like a free space for me to go and be a character, because it was, I was playing a role in some little school performance. It was nothing serious. When it became a thing that had a lot of weight behind it in terms of, people watching and stuff, then you're gonna have natural feelings of anxiety. Yeah. Just the idea of like not being able to just do normal things, like to just go outside and like walk out onto the street, like, because where we lived it was kind of a bit crazy and there was just people always there like waiting to take a photo and stuff. And obviously thinking about having a child and like raising her in that environment, it was just very claustrophobic for me. I didn't want her to have to be like exposed to that because she didn't choose it, like it was a choice that I made. So I was like, we need to get out of here so that she can have some chance of like a normal childhood, where there's not cameras flashing in her face constantly.